Let's move to Canada now. The truckers' protest is growing in size and strength. Thousands of protesters continue to gridlock Ottawa. In some places, violence is also being reported. Reports say the protesters apparently clashed with police officers in Alberta. Meanwhile, Canada's opposition leaders want Justin Trudeau to apologize to the protesters. They say the Canadian Prime Minister needs to stop derogating their motives by calling them a fringe. Our next report gets you all the details.
The Freedom Convoy in Canada continues to grow in strength. Thousands of protesters and truckers are marching on the streets of Ottawa against the government's COVID-19 measures. In some places, they're being joined by Sikh immigrants from India. Pictures shared on social media show Sikh protesters expressing solidarity with the truckers.
I love my freedom and my liberty as much as everybody does. And I hate a government telling me what to do with force. That's all I'm here for. It's about choice, it's not about vaccines. And we are all together, we are all Canadians, we are all truckers.
These protesters are no longer just about COVID-19 restrictions. They have turned into a movement against the current leadership. A movement that is finding overwhelming support. In an online fundraiser, the protesters have managed to raise more than $10 million from their supporters. The money is meant to sustain the protests in the days ahead, but it has already come under scrutiny. The platform this money was raised on has decided to pause and review the fundraising campaign. The protesters suspect this has been done on the behest of the Canadian government. In some places, incidents of violence are also being reported. On Tuesday evening, some protesters allegedly assaulted police officers who tried breaking up a trucker blockade. The protesters, however, refuse all such claims. They say the establishment is trying to suppress their movement through misleading stories. Opposition leaders in Canada are asking Trudeau to apologize, not only for trying to suppress the truckers' protest, but also for his track record of racist behavior.
I apologize that minister is misleading Canadians. I do get very defensive of Canadians who are outside today, patriotic, peace-loving Canadians who are called misogynist and racist by the Prime Minister. So again, I will ask the Prime Minister, who, may I remind this House, wore blackface on more times than he can remember, apologize to the peace-loving, patriotic Canadians who are outside right now just asking to be heard. Will he speak to them?
But the Canadian Prime Minister remains unrelenting. He says he won't be intimidated, come what may. He has also called upon the vaccinated truckers to continue doing their job.
To the nearly 90% of truckers across the country who've gotten vaccinated, who continue working hard to keep us fed and keep our economy moving, thank you.
It's been more than a week since these protests began. They started in British Columbia. They've now spread to several parts of Canada. Reports say the Trudeau government is now mulling asking the Canadian military to intervene in order to put an end to this movement.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.